Welcome back to RedditReeds. Today, we'll be looking at r/EntitledParents, where a Karen demands people to get off their own private property. This is a post by Ozone W. I was chillin', playing some Roblox, just vibing, when my mother asked me to walk up outside. So I did, and she then asked me to grab a soft toy that she threw outside of a window in a fit of rage the previous day. So I do. I threw it at her as a joke, and she looks astonished as if someone had shot her. She grabs a glass of water and throws it at me and my laptop, which is brand new and she'd helped pay for. I get angry, go change, and she shouts like an effing banshee about how I hurt her eye with a soft toy. She says I can't take a joke, and while I was getting changed told me I don't pull my weight, when I believe I do for a 13-year-old boy. And then, while I'm upset in my room, she gives me a list of chores and calls me entitled. Am I in the wrong, or is she the entitled one? OP added an edit below. The laptop works. Only minor damage and cleaning to do, but gonna check it out in the morning. Thanks for the reassurance in the comments. OP, there is no way you're in the wrong here. Your mom seems incredibly entitled, and playing a minor joke on her that has no harm does not merit destroying a laptop. That's seriously messed up, but I'm glad your laptop's still working though. This is a post by Exclusive Four-Eyed Man. Since none of you know this, I'm one of those people that needs a defined sleep schedule. If I wake up over 15 minutes before or after a time, I'm tired for the rest of the day. I wake up around 7:15 a.m. every day, unless it's an extreme circumstance. What I mean by extreme circumstance is if I happen to stay up much later than I normally would, or if we were leaving early to go on a vacation. My parents know this, and they've had no trouble with it. If we're planning on leaving to go somewhere earlier, they normally take the time to tell me that we are planning on leaving earlier, so get ready at an earlier time. Today was not one of those days. Where I live, the past couple of days have been extremely hot, around 85 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. My grandmother has a pool, and we have been using it a fair amount because of the temperatures. Last night, I went to sleep earlier because I was swimming almost all day. That brings us to this morning. I'm sleeping peacefully, or as close to peacefully as I am able to sleep, when I hear bang, 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 and stepdad shouting, OP, get up, at 6:45 in the morning. I made some type of noise since I was barely awake. Apparently, he felt this was an invitation to throw my door open and make sure I was actually awake. I toss a book at him, and he leaves. I sit in bed for a couple of minutes, making sure I'm completely awake, and I end up going downstairs around 6:55. After getting dressed and getting ready for the day, I walk into the kitchen and see entitled mom in the kitchen with my two little brothers. She's all cheery, "Good morning," as I just grumble and wave, and head to the cabinet to get a pack of Pop-Tarts. The second I hope and sit down, she starts yapping at me to do 100 other things. "Get your brother's backpacks. Are all the lights turned off upstairs? You better go check. I need you to go downstairs and get the chicken out from the freezer. That shirt looks horrible. You should change it." All the while, I'm still a walking zombie, barely able to even think about eating breakfast. Finally, we're getting ready to head outdoor around 7:15, and entitled mom turns to me. Without preamble, she says, "I don't give a crap what you feel. You're not allowed to be tired today." Like, serious, Mom? I'm not allowed to be tired when you guys made sure to wake me up really early? Anyway, that's my story. If you feel that I'm overacting, please let me know. No, OP, I don't feel like you're overreacting at all. You've established to your parents that if you want to be woken up early, please give due notice. And it didn't even seem like there was a good reason this morning, so I don't think it's very cool what your parents did. This is a post by The Holy Sheep. Now, onto the story. So this was a 7-hour flight from Abu Dhabi to London on a 2-story plane. Forgot which plane exactly. My dad was sat a few rows back from the entitled family. That meant he could still get a good view of what was happening. At first, things were normal. The plane had a smooth takeoff and was now climbing to cruising altitude, so the flight attendants were about to start preparing the food and drinks trolley. This is when the girl started to misbehave. Even though the plane was still climbing and the seatbelt sign was still on, she decided to jump out of her seat and run up and down the aisle, which made everyone look except her own mother. One of the flight attendants managed to catch her and bring her back to her seat and asked the mom to control her, but the mom just waved her hand in a sort of, "Go away," kind of action, so the flight attendant sat back down later. About 30 minutes later, the flight attendants had started to bring the trolleys around, which obviously meant that the girl could mess about again. This time, she tried to climb on the trolley when the flight attendant's back was turned because she was serving a random person on the other side of the aisle. but luckily the flight attendant stopped her again before anything too serious could happen. She once again talked to the mother, but she didn't pay any attention. Once the flight attendant had moved down the place, the girl was up again and decided to go upstairs. Remember, I said this was a 2-story plane, to where first and business class are, but the flight attendant up there stopped her at the top of the stairs and brought her downstairs to look for the mother. The flight attendants and quite a lot of people are now really mad at the mother for doing nothing, but by this point she was on a phone call and ignored them. The girl went up the stairs about 5 more times over the course of the flight before they got someone to guard the stairs. Someone had also moved into the entitled family's row now for some reason, so the girl couldn't go out, or so people thought. The girl now realized she couldn't get out the way she was going before, so she decides to go straight over her seat, literally parkour over there. Unfortunately for her, there was a nice couple behind her who pushed her back into her seat, so for a minute, there was a pushing battle between an elderly couple and a 6-year-old girl, before the mother shouted at the couple to stop touching her daughter. The girl then climbs down and disappears from view, and then pops up in the most unexpected place, between my dad's legs. She had crawled under about 5 rows of seat, somehow avoiding people. My dad had no idea what to do. He couldn't touch a random girl, especially after the mother shouted at the last people who stopped her. But before he could think of anything, the girl was off, until she tripped and was caught by a flight attendant. She then took her back, and the last hour of the flight was somehow peaceful. This entitled mom just ignores the existence of her daughter and expects everyone else to look after her. This is a post by Theorist Rainey. My girlfriend and I were hanging out for 4th of July on my uncle's private stretch of river. The river runs through my uncle's property, but the spot my girlfriend and I were at wasn't too far from the public part of the river. We were both fine with mingling with the public river goers as long as they stayed 6 feet away. Some people set up their stuff in my uncle's part of the river, but they weren't doing any harm, so he just let them have a good weekend and chill there. The closest group to my girlfriend and I was a couple with 3 kids. We were chilling on the beach being ourselves. Something I've neglected to mention that makes things much clearer. Yeah, we're lesbians. Gay girls being affectionate at a river in Texas. I hope you can see where this is going. Entitled mom comes over and, politely, I'll give her that, asks us to leave. I told her no. She said that she didn't want us around her kids and that they shouldn't be seeing this, our relationship. I argued with her for a while, but she started to get pretty aggressive and started to pull the whole "God hates gay people" routine. My girlfriend, who has been assaulted for her sexuality in the past, was getting scared and asked to leave because she thought something bad was going to happen. She was legitimately terrified of that woman. So I told entitled mom that she could go F herself, and we went further into my uncle's property to find a more private spot. I don't know what I was expecting in non-Austin, Texas. We were able to find a better spot, and we still had a great 4th of July. But I'm still mad at that mom. I don't know what she thought we were going to do to her kids, but we were literally just being ourselves, and she had to get mad about it. The entitled mom's like, "Get off of our property." OP's just like, you mean our property? This is a post by Stomatogram. For months before this, I had been very ill. Should I lay on the couch throwing up water again, or go to the hospital, kind of sick? I eventually found out I had developed an illness that required me to change my entire diet. So I went through my kitchen and boxed up maybe 80% of the canned and dry food I had. The box was too big and heavy for me to even get into my car. So I posted it online as a first come first serve offering. Shelf stable food, free. People dropped by throughout the day to pick through the box and grab what they wanted. Near the end of the day, it was still half full, and I had an email requesting a full list of everything that was in the box, including brand names and flavors. I said no. It was a big box. I was exhausted, and people were welcome to leave what they didn't want. "Well, my kids are picky eaters, so I won't come get it if you don't tell me what you have." I understand. If you change your mind, you have my address. "No, I need this food for my kids. Just take pictures of everything if you're too lazy to write it down." That's not something I'm able to do right now. Best of luck. "I just want you to know it's your fault my kids won't eat today, you stupid bee." At this point, I was just frustrated and wanted the stuff off my porch. So I called the local food bank, and they sent someone to get it within a few hours. 2 days later, I'm awoken from a nap by pounding on my front door. She had changed her mind and come to get the food after all, and wanted to know where it was hidden. I told her I had donated it after she indicated she wouldn't come and get it, and she was incensed. I had to close the door in her face and threaten to call police to get her to stop screaming and leave my house. That was r/EntitledParents. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for some more Reddit content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.